Hey, what's up you guys? This is Eric with OzoneTCG. Today we're taking a look at Alex Robertson's UK Nationals second place on Sunavalon Adventure Therion list. Before we get into the video, of course, as always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to pick up any of these cards, please use our TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. We also have now a TCG Player shop. We'll be uploading a bunch of cards. We'll probably have Power of the Elements stocked within a week or two after the set releases. We're partnering with some distributors, trying to get sealed product in and a bunch of singles. We're really taking off here. This is going to be big. Of course, check us out if you guys want to, and thank you as always for watching. Let's get into the list. So this is, of course, credits to The Disciples, fantastic YouTube channel. I love their content. I love seeing how they design their deck lists as well. This is Alex Robertson's second place deck profile. Looks like he was playing a rather unconventional version of the deck, and I think this is probably the best way to play it, honestly, with just more cards, because there are a lot of bricks in the deck. It's an adventure deck, so inherently there are already 3 bricks you don't really want to ever see, that being Fateful Adventure, Griffin, and Dracoback. This uses the Necrosynchron. That card is really strong. Not a lot of decks can use it right now, but this is the one deck that can absolutely abuse it. So basically, if it's sent to the graveyard, for the synchro summon of a wind monster, you can special summon a level 1 plant from your deck. So the idea is to summon Fibrax using your punk cards. He does play just the 1 Foxy Tune, 1 Deer Note, and 1 Xamin. And then you go like Adventure Token, anything like that. Summon Fibrax, and then summon your Lilyborea, which is a level 8, because it's inherently a plant, or use Regulus, summon stuff from there, and then summon Necrosynchron. And then you sync your level 8 and level 2 monster together for Baron de Fleur. Baron de Fleur is a wind, so you trigger Necrosynchron's effect, then have potentially Regulus and Baron de Fleur just on your field to negate anything, and then go into your full Sunavalon combo. Really strong combo, actually. It's really powerful. It does take up a lot of extra deck slots. So you can see here he has the 2 Dryas, 2 Sunbind Healer, 1 Sunbind Thrasher, 2 Jasmine, 2 Melius, the Drytrentier, and the Bangalancer. You summon typically just 1 in this version, 1 Dryas, and then 1 Healer. You do summon double Jasmine in the same turn, and you usually are using the double Melius for your double link 4 combo. So that's what, 1, 2, maybe Thrasher. That's usually used for the kill turn 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're using at least 9 extra spots because of Baron de Fleur. So you do use a lot of your extra deck. There's really not a whole lot of room for kind of extra utility cards. Only cards he's playing, again, Sunbind Thrasher, because it's generic link 1 as well. It acts like a 3rd Dryas, and yeah, the only other card is Charge Warrior, and that's just to trigger Necrosynchron, and at least draws you a card too. But those are really the only ways to do it, to play this version of the deck, and that's okay. I think this is still a really potent option for the current metagame. Of course, got second place. I don't know how many people were actually at UK Nats. I know German Nats, of course, were over 1,800 players. I'm sure UK was lower, but I'm not actually sure for certain. But typical, adventure ratios, I don't think anyone's surprised there. Typical Therion ratios for this version, except he's only playing 1 Disc Coliseum, and he's also not playing any of the other spells or traps, so he's just using Lilyborea if he already has Disc Coliseum as an extender, and that's fine. That's what the deck needed, as well as the negate. I mean, that's really it. You can search Lilyborea in your combo, normally either with Jasmine, or you can summon out Lone Fire from the deck, or just summon Lilyborea from the deck itself. Yeah, that's pretty standard. And then the 1 Regulus, you actually don't need more than 1 in this version whatsoever. He's also not playing any of the other Therions. I would probably say to play the other ones, but I think this is more geared to just turbo the deck. He also has the machines, the 1 machine, which is, I guess, 1 in the main, 1 in the extra deck, Fibrax, or Necrosynchron. Those are both machine monsters, so Regulus can target it to summon itself. Then Regulus has to send itself. You don't have Lilyborea equipped to negate. But it's pretty standard. He's also just playing the 3 Genius Lochi, that's standard too, and then the 1 Sunbind Twin and 1 Laurel. I think for this version, because he's playing so many cards in the main deck, the one Sunvine Twin is probably fine. In more dedicated, just, gas Sunavalon, where you're playing more plant cards, you usually play 2 because you really need to resolve. But in this version, I think it's actually fine just playing 1, because that worst Sunvine Sowing, the one of, he just can summon another Genius Loshi and go from there. Laurel is part of the combo. You do search that with Jasmine, and your life points will be higher. That can also summon itself or make a monster a tuner. I don't really see that coming up to summon Fibrax using a monster turned into a tuner with Laurel, but it may happen once or twice. Rosewhip can also summon off Jasmine and off Fibrax. Those are always options too. Very good cards versus branded decks, because Rosewhip and Regulus is like a pseudo FTK. They can only activate one spell or trap, so they have to have Albaz, and if you have like Baron de Fleur, well, they're just not playing anyway. Or Super probably they have to have that, something like that. So pretty standard. He is playing the Unexpected Die and Painful Decision, so that's effectively 9 copies of Genius Lochi. I think that's fine. Again, you just need to see it, at worst, and you can summon it from the hand. I think using one of the other monsters, I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. Well, you do need to so if you discard it for adventure stuff, then you can revive it later using something like Melius. Some of your plant monsters, they theoretically could be generic. I think Melius takes 2 plant monsters, including a Link monster, I think. The one Lone Fire is interesting. I think that's actually just for turn 2 follow-up, because after turn 1, you're probably not using your adventure stuff anymore. If you're keeping them on the field, if they stay on the field, so just to summon probably another Liboria, something like that. Or maybe it plays well with the level 3s, maybe some Rosewhip to go with Deer Note. I'm thinking it's just turn 3 follow-up, because it's not a small world target, because I was thinking that originally, but Lone Fire is a level 3. Maybe acts as an Ash Bridge. I'm not sure if that's a route. I have to run the numbers with Small World, but he does play 3 Small World because the card's just insane. Lone Fire also acts, I guess theoretically, maybe as a Small World target for Water Enchantress. That might be the case, you guys know. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. E-Telly, you have to play that card if you're playing the punk stuff, because it's just free. It's a free Fibrax or free whatever you want. That card's so busted. Droplet, I think, is probably the correct choice here, because you do want to have at least a plant in the graveyard going second in case you draw something like Liboria. You do need something in there just to start fueling your Therion cards, because they help you play going second. Again, adventure stuff, like I said, pretty standard. The Foolish, that is literally for the adventure stuff. That's the 10-card engine. And then, of course, the one in Sunavalon Blue, that's for Dryad Trentier. Hand traps, 3 Ash, 3 Valor, 3 Gamma, and then the Wind Nibiru. I'm sure he just didn't want to play any more than 55. Probably just wanted to play maximum of those, so he just wanted 10 hand traps in total. So about almost a fifth of the deck, counting, Droplet, it's about 13 defensive cards that are just defensive cards and not necessarily cards you want going first. But with the adventure stuff, it's almost half the deck. So I think that's fine too. With Foolish, Foolish, 6 Rite of Aramesir, Water Enchantress, so 7, 13, so about 20. Okay, so 20 kind of go second cards. That's pretty good too, I would say. And then the extra, like I said, it's pretty standard. The only flex spot really is Nightmare Unicorn, Charge Warrior. Charge Warrior is just to trigger Necrosynchron with a level 4, which would be the adventure token in this case. Yeah, pretty standard otherwise. I really like how clean it is. I don't like playing 3 Dryad. I don't think it's necessarily require that you play the 3, because you only have the one Sunvine Sowing. If you play Shrine, different story. Yeah, clean extra deck. You do need the 2 Jasmine though. That is part of the combo to summon the 2, because you do add, you do trigger them both with Laurel. You use Laurel for the second Jasmine. So maybe I'll show off some games with this at some point, because I do like the Sunavalon stuff. I haven't seen Brains at all, but I do. I just like the way that they are. I like the way they play. It's really cool. Plant's one of my favorite types. Along with Worms. And then the side deck, the second Nibiru, the other 2, they're there. I think it's just to complete the set. And then it's just power cards with sides impermanence. I don't necessarily know if impermanence was good. Maybe I'll reach out to Alex, see if they were good at all. Otherwise, it's just straight up go second cards, and then the anti-spells for going first in Punk Therion, adventure decks, anything like that. No D-Barrier. I think that's pretty much correct. I think overall anti-spell is just better. Only deck that's not good against is Sword Soul, but I think going first, you're probably just winning anyway, because it's very hard to play through the standard plant combo with Sword Soul. So that's the deck profile. Again, shout out to the Disciples. I really like this list. They posted it on their Facebook, and I'm not sure about YouTube channel, but at least I saw this on Zodiac Duelist, and of course they have it on their Facebook, so go check them out. I know Brotherhood Games is actually a huge shop in the UK, and they are a huge player in that, and they host their own events a lot, and I think K-Storm, something like that. But again, shout out to Alex, really. This was a really interesting deck, and a lot of people kind of had this under the radar. I still don't think it's the top 3, but I think something with Therion and Punk cards just inherently make your deck really nice. And because it focuses more on setting up those powerful turn 1 boards and low commitment 1-card combos in the form of Genius Lochi. If you have like E-Tele plus Genius Lochi, you don't even need Necrosynchron. It's just free. Let me know what you guys think about this list. I will actually start playtesting this a little more and get some sample games in here for you guys just to see how it is. Yeah, so shout out to them. Congratulations, Alex. Second place at the UK Nationals, first one we've had since 2019, is huge. That's a big accomplishment too. Just like we had Lucas Vindel the other day, top 8. These are big accomplishments, especially with how many players are back into the game because of in-person events returning. So shout outs to them. And as always, Eric with OzoneTCG, thank you so much for watching.